Hey folks, Micah McGee here. In today's video, we're going to be doing something that is requested by you. I'd like to do stuff that you want to see. So today what we're going to do is we're going to get in the orchard and we're going to fight some issues. Neem oil, organic spray, powdery mildew. I guarantee you I've got powdery mildew on my fruit trees. And this is a wide variety. This gets insects, fungus, and also mites, miticide, spider mites, stuff that causes problems. So here's what we're going to do. I've already washed this thing out. In the instructions, it calls for 2 to 4 tablespoons per gallon. Now that may not sound precise to you, 2 to 4, but this is organic. This is not a chemical. So I'm going to say right off the bat, just because something's organic don't mean you can go drinking it. It's not humanly safe to be doing stuff like that with, and when we get in the field, we're going to be careful not to breathe it. But it is organic. 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
and 16. That is a full dose for 4 gallons. And I might say that was about half of this bottle's contents. So I'm just going to fill this up, and you're going to go with me over to the orchard, and we're going to take a look at it. We're going to spray some fruit trees. All right, we made it to the orchard out here, and so I'm going to put this on. If there's one thing I've learned as I've got older, take advantage of opportunities to make stuff easier. I used to be Amish and I raised a lot of produce, and I had one of these made by Solo brand, and it was a great one. I never had a tailgate. Amish don't drive trucks, and I picked that thing up off the ground and it didn't hurt one little bit because I was 19 years old, 18 years old. Look at that. That was nice. I can handle that. Now, I shuck my belly in. Now, let's go over here to these fruit trees and I'll show you what I think is the powdery mildew. And there's another thing I seen when I was pruning that I didn't like. Let's take a look. Now, this is my Red Delicious. And when I was pruning it, I noticed that the tops of the trees were fairly black and definitely powdery looking. So I'm not sure how well you can see that. What I'll do is get you in closer and let you take a peek at that. It just looks very powdery to me. I'm just simply going to pump this up. You can use the little handheld ones that you pump up. Wind direction, I'm going to spray a little bit. The wind is blowing that way. Always spray your sprays, whether it's organic or not organic, upwind, because you don't want that blowing in your face. So what we're going to do is we're going to completely soak this tree down. It's not got any buds, it's not got any leaves, it's not got any blooms. Never spray a tree while it's in bloom, while it's got the blooms open anyway, because you will end up killing more bees than anything else, and that is absolutely wrong. I'm pretty sure that my trees have multiple types of molds and mildews on them. I have not done the best job in keeping up with them the last couple years, simply because they weren't fruiting. But we're getting up into the fruiting stage, and I need to really get back on top of this. If you look at the trunk of the tree, you notice an off color on it. That's not a fungus or a problem there. That is just simply the black pipe. It finally outgrew the black piping that I had on them, and you can see it on all my trees. And the reason I have those on there is for the deer, because the deer have killed probably in the whole orchard, probably 8 apple trees. And at $20 to $30 a tree, that hurts a little bit. This is already drying. It's already drying. So we're supposed to have rain all this coming week, or at least chances of rain every day, pretty good. So that's why I'm doing it today. It's nice and sunny. The wind's not blowing terribly hard. Yesterday was just raging wind. So this is my time. I need to get it done now. So we're going to move on to the next tree, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about here. This is a crabapple tree. Crab apples are fairly resistant to pretty much everything bad because, well, they're kind of a tough old tree. But it's in bloom. The blooms are open. It's in full bloom. I'm not going to spray it. I'm not even worried about, I don't have these for fruit anyway. These are pollinator trees that the bees can come in here and pollinate, and then they can go to the other apple trees and pollinate. We may just have some crab apple. We may be making jelly around here. So now I'll move on down here to the McIntosh. Good old McIntosh. We got, I don't even know, we probably have 10 different varieties of apple trees, maybe more. And I just tried them all because you have to wait so long for them to mature and make apples. I said, hey, I'm gonna put a bunch, if there's one or two I don't like or that don't do as well. It's not gonna make or break the orchard one way or another. And that right there is how quick you can knock one out, especially these smaller trees like this. It doesn't take all that long to knock a tree out. The next one is actually dead. That one right there, completely dead. A deer ripped that pipe off and killed the tree. And I thought I could save it. I didn't save it, but I did put the deer in my freezer. All right, this here, I'm not exactly sure what apple tree this is. I have Honeycrisp on this row, but I don't know that they come down this far. So I'm starting to see that the spray is blowing at a pretty good pace over to my right, so I just got to stay out of it. This tree's starting to leaf out a little bit, but it's not blooming. If you have a fruit orchard and you're trying to maintain it, trying to grow good fruit, you need to start applying this spray in the dormant stage. In cold weather, don't wait for the leaves to start coming out. Do it in the absolute dormant stage and do it once a week, every week, if at all possible. A good orchard man will spray once a week. And I can't say I'm a good orchard man because I have never done that. But I've also never had fruit trees that were bearing fruit. And that is going to be incentive for me to get with it and do a better job of staying on top of my orchard. I know all them up there are Honeycrisp. Let's go deal with them. Honeycrisp are widely known as being one of the better apples out there. I just thought I would plant me some of them. Be on the safe side. I'm completely soaking down every part of this tree. I'm gonna move right on up here and completely soak this one. This particular tree has a lot. You know, it's got something on it as well. Some kind of a fungus is on this tree, and I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I'll show it to you. It's got like spots, and it's just all over the limbs. So I'm not sure what we're dealing with there. I'm just gonna apply this and see how it works. I'll come back here in a few days and see how it looks, see if this stuff is gone. It may take multiple applications. I don't know. I have not been on top of these trees like I should have. I've kept my pruning up. I've kept my fertilization up. I just hadn't been doing a lot of spraying. Spraying kind of goes against the grain sometimes. I mean, just don't like to be spraying a lot. But if you're gonna have fruit trees, if you're not gonna spray anything, you're not gonna have much fruit. Right, I'm gonna get out here and finish spraying these. I like roughly 18 to 20 apple trees. I've got a couple pear trees there. They're in full bloom. I'm not gonna spray them. I probably wouldn't spray them anyway because pears, they're like the most resilient thing ever. They produce, it doesn't matter. But I'm gonna get out here and spray these apple trees all down real quick and get it knocked out. All right, folks, that is the deal. We've got them all sprayed. These little trees right here, you can barely see them in the video, but these are pawpaw trees. Look up pawpaws. They are unbelievable. And if I understand right, they are the largest native fruit in North America as far as being native from right here in the US always. Gonna try to grow some. They take a little longer to get going, but out of the 5 I planted, I've got 3 left, so that's pretty good for me. Anyway, you can see right here the potato field looks good. I got in there and I worked the ground up. Even though the potatoes aren't up yet, I worked it up because the grass was coming in. Cold weather don't really hurt grass that much. It kills the weeds back, but grass just takes a better root. So I had to get in there and work them up, and I think that it's going to be successful, but I'll be keeping you posted on that. But that's all we've got for you today. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, I'll answer it if I know the answer. If I don't, I'm not going to make something up, I don't think. But anyway, we're going to get on out of here. We hope you have a great day. We'll see you on the next video.